Well, Ewok, what's up, man? What's up?
What's up,
Ewok?
what's up,
Where
what's
are
up,
you
what's
at
up,
now?
everyone?
How are you doing? What is up now that you're kind of in a chiller mode, that
Mhm.
you're not stressing in a VOD dungeon every single day anymore? How's it been?
Yeah, oh, it feels good to be honest. It's a nice change of pace. I mean, back in Korea now. It's basically been like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now since Ascension finished. So it's like the first time I actually have break, and for the first time in 4 years, it feels kind of weird that I don't feel guilty to like take some time for myself, to be honest. So a bit of a new feeling. I'm still getting used to it, to be honest. Yeah.
Damn.
Must feel
Alright.
good.
Sounds traumatized, man.
Yeah.
You sounds traumatized.
I don't feel. Yeah, like I don't know what to do with myself. Like.
Yeah, no, it feels weird. It actually, yeah, it feels
Okay.
pretty weird.
Okay.
But what was that transition like? Like how did you? I mean, we're probably gonna get deep into like why you did it, but first,
Yeah.
like what it is like right now. Like how did you finally transition into it? What felt odd? What felt like strange when you're like switching roles, basically, right? Like from what you used to.
Yeah. I just needed a little bit more balance, to be honest. I needed to touch some grass. So
Good.
finally
That's
getting
good.
some time to touch some grass, getting outside. I always really enjoyed a lot of sports and everything, and it's something I grew up with. So, and I haven't really been able to do that. So trying to like take care of my body, take care of my health, and be a little bit more active, that I can focus on some other things, because yeah, for me, it's just been 4 years of that's the only thing I do. It's the only thing I get to manage some friendships a little bit better now as well. Can get to see some friends actually, because usually I just don't have the time, to be honest. So is for now it's just get to live a little bit of a normal life, because for me is when I'm in that like coach mode, that's it. The only thing that matters is winning, and what I can do to help the team to win. So for me, it's just like I just felt I needed some balance to be able to reset as well, to go again. Because something I haven't also really talked about is, because it's been something that's coming for a while. I felt like I'm super tired, but I wanted to give everything, and I always want to. Whenever we go into a match, I want to feel like I gave 100%, and we are 100% prepared. And anytime if I'm like 90% prepared, then it's a lot more difficult to take a loss, because I feel like I didn't give everything, or there was a little bit more I could have given.
The
Whether
regrets
that's
you feel.
exactly right. So that's like an
Yeah.
extra hour here, extra something here,
Damn.
something I could have added to the ante, something I could have helped them, something prepared better on a certain map for that opponent. So that's not a territory I want to get into. I want to every time feel confident that I prepared the boys best I can. So for me, it was important that a situation doesn't come after, let's say if I stayed on after kickoff, after stage one, and I say, guys, I can't give that 100% right now. I need to take a break. And all of a sudden, everything's in shambles. They need to get a new head coach, and everyone's like rushing to do it. And I feel like, out of respect for my players, for the organization, I think this timing is much better, because it gives them time, and I've been helping them as well to set up whoever comes in next. I think it's easier to transition this way, because I really want, like, I spend a lot of time building this roster. So for me, I'm super invested in them, and I want them to perform the best. So I want to give them the best chance to do so.
Awesome.
Damn. Baby.
I was like that, dude.
What a guy. What a guy.
Amazing. Amazing.
What about let's rewind. Like, we can get into the whole lead up to this year and then at the end of this year and stuff, but like before Valorant, like what were you doing? What was your history in esports or before esports? Like what kind of led you down this path?
So I guess quick backstory. I used to just play a lot of sports. I wanted to go pro in cricket. That was always the plan. So I was always like very competitive, and that's I attribute to a lot of the style of terms of how I coach. I had a lot of good coaches in my career playing traditional sports, playing all different types of sports. So I feel like they helped me a lot of like leader figures that I could kind of understand how to handle players. and kind of a lot of things that I learned from them. And South Africa is really blessed with a lot of good sport coaches. So that's where I learned a lot of things for me. And then kind of the cricket thing didn't work out, got too many injuries and stuff. So I played more games then, competitive aspect as well. Always just enjoyed the competitive games. Went to go study first, finished a degree in business and economics. And then I was like, okay, I really still want to do this esports thing. Before I go into it, like a traditional job, I'm gonna give myself like a year to see if I can do this. And kind of in South Africa, we just play. I was a player first, and then a coach, and then a player again.
Right.
A little bit complicated, but yeah, we just kind of winning everything in South Africa. Needed to go to like a bigger pond, and then actually went over to GE first. Did a trial there, pre-franchising. Things didn't work out exactly, and then yeah, after that is actually I finished, I think, like on the Sunday with GE. All right, it's not happening. And then I got a message from Mike from Severin.
Severin,
Yeah, got a message from him on Twitter, I think, saying, "Yo, we're looking for a coach." Before that, I don't think they ever had a coach.
Yeah.
They were very free and everything. So they're like, "Okay, we're looking for a coach. You willing to trial?" So I did a trial, like the Monday, and
after the day you said, yeah, this GE thing is not happening.
well, so I was with GE. I was with them already, I think, for a couple of weeks actually.
Oh.
If I remember correctly, because we did one tournament together. And then I think we were just not exactly seeing eye to eye in terms of how I would like to do things and whatever. So then, yeah, finished the Sunday, the Monday with ONIC trial, and by Wednesday, Severin asked me, "Yo, do you want to come on board? You want to join?" And then everything just happened. Stage 1 happened, and then for stage 2, I came over to Indo. So yeah.
Oh, dude, look at you, man.
Oh my god, you're such a baby. Oh my god.
face.
No facial hair, dude.
No beard, no nothing.
Yeah, look at this picture. Look at that previous picture. No one's smiling, bro. These guys. Yo, no one's happy. No one's happy.
That's Manya as well.
Tell me more is smiling a little bit. Yeah, nobody's happy.
This is point blank legend Severin. Like, is that...
Yes.
Yeah.
Point blank. Oh my
I casted him in Moscow in 2019.
Yeah. Dude, that's so cool. Yeah.
No, shout out to him. He's the one.
He's a go,
He's
man.
the one that approached me, and he started everything. So yeah, I loved my time at ONIC, to be honest.
I see. He stepped into your boots now. Ewok.
Yeah.
He's coaching.
Yeah.
Todak, I believe.
Todak, yeah.
Yeah, in
he's
Malaysia,
Todak.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So the cycle closes. So
I love
Yeah, no, he has so much experience.
So much
It
experience.
makes sense.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Crazy. How is the esports scene in South Africa? Like, it's not a
Actually,
region we
yeah.
hear much about.
Super
Yeah.
curious.
Different games, a little bit bigger. There's been quite a couple of good CS players from South Africa. There's a couple of organizations there as well. But in South Africa, very much the focus is on traditional sport. The sports that South Africa do compete in heavily, they're usually like some of the best in the world, like cricket, rugby, especially those two. And then some of the other ones like swimming and everything. So on the esports side, to be honest, my advice would be for anyone is to get out if you can.
That's fair.
It's just because there's not. So first of all, it's difficult with servers. There's not always for every game. Don't always have servers in South Africa. So you need to play on high ping. Like for the first couple of years, we played on 160 ping, Valorant. So that's not great. We used to play on London servers. So finally, there's some Cape Town servers, but the scene is not that big. There's still some really talented players there. There's really talented FPS players, MOBA players as well. Used to play a lot of Dota 2. I wanted to go pro in Dota 2 back then, actually. But yeah, I think it's just too early in South Africa still, and the focus is way more on traditional sports still.
Actually, on that, I know a lot of pro players who've retired, and there was some point in their career where they felt like, I really want to play that video game, but fuck, I can't play it because I'm a Valorant guy, right? I feel like I'm wasting time. Now that you've kind of left coaching for the meantime, do you feel like there's now times where you're like, I can finally play that video game?
a game I quite like is Deadlock.
Oh!
and then
Okay.
yeah.
So you combine both. You get to
Exactly.
play Dota and Valorant. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes. on the game.
I always told myself, to be honest, if the new MOBA comes out, I'll try. I'll try and go pro in it. This I don't know if it really counts as it, but it's just Dota. I kind of a little bit late to it, and then it didn't work out. But then I always enjoy the strategic side of MOBAs.
Yeah.
In terms of just, I think as a coach and as a player, it's really interesting. Like so much to learn. But I've also fallen in love with the FPS aspect, and I didn't grow up with that much CS. But even the more Valorant I coached and played, the more CS I also watched, because there's a lot of like really strong fundamentals in CS for any coach to learn from. So I think it's important. I had some background there, but there's always more to learn from CS still.
Well, how
Deadlock
did you
fanboy.
go from like Deadlock now to, I guess, from ONIC to RRQ? How did that happen?
I don't know how much of this is confidential, but I'm trying like glaze over it a little bit. So at the end, season ends, we get second place, heartbreak against Boom in that LCQ.
Oh, I
Um,
remember that.
Yeah.
Maybe fortunate
So-
because then the boom thing happened. So
Yeah. Maybe, right?
Maybe.
So to be fair, it would have been nice to go to Turkey. Just sounds really nice. So, but it made this one even more.
Oh,
yeah, that is a-
man.
wow, you actually got a clip. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's everything.
I remember this. Yeah.
Who was
I was
taking
kind
this
of
video?
upset about this, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because there was a clip. I don't think this is the one, but there was a clip of Monyet. Oh, Sheldon also. NC Slasher was had COVID. and could barely speak. He was
shit.
so sick. He played that whole lower bracket run. He had COVID. Like I was so proud of him in terms of he did so much, and he really struggled to communicate. Oh,
No,
man,
I
that
remember
brings
when
some-
this
some
video
hard
got
memories,
posted. I
yeah.
think the community kind of didn't like it, like showing the boys in such a vulnerable and devastated like condition. But at the same time, like obviously it's easy when you're looking at it like in retrospect right now, like 4 years
Yeah.
after the event, and looks like it's a good moment to like have in recorded history so that people know
Yeah, in a way.
this happened, right? But at
Yeah.
the time it did feel so heartbreaking, bro, because
Yeah.
this was also the first time an Indonesian team, like a full Indonesian roster, made it to an international event, I believe.
Yeah.
And just for the record, I did root for you guys. No hate to Boom, no hate to Gary. Please don't hate me. But I was rooting for ONIC and watching that. I believe I was an analyst on the Indonesian desk for this.
Yeah, and I enjoyed your
at the
watch
time.
parties back then. I always
oh,
tuned in
thank
for your
you.
watch
Oh,
parties
thank you, dude. I
after.
appreciate it.
Yeah, always
Yeah,
enjoyed them.
it was super fun. Damn, old times. Anyway, yeah, I was rooting for ONIC because Elmi Moore was there. I used to coach him as well, and he's such a super nice, humble guy. And I thought
Yeah.
it was gonna be this moment, for him. And there was a bit of a drama behind the scenes that I couldn't really get into, but I was rooting for them. So it's super sad when I saw the clip
Yeah.
online. It's so
It
heartbreaking.
was, yeah, it was a devastating loss because it's like everything felt like it was going right.
Yeah.
And we had so many 13-11s that we were winning in the bracket, Secret and Bleed. I think Zosha was maybe in there as well. I don't remember. It was a crazy run because we just played
It
back
was.
to back to back, and then played Boom. I think we got 2-0 in the upper bracket, and we went lower bracket, and they stayed in the upper bracket, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so it's after that, then of course the whole league format got announced. Franchising's coming,
Yeah.
and there was opportunity for ONIC to be one of the chosen partners. We actually had a lot of meetings in terms of what we would do if ONIC gets chosen. They decided that they wanted to stay on with me, and we were talking in terms of, okay, we'll take this roster. What do we need to do to improve further? This roster, are we good like how it is now? What do we do if we get chosen? And from what I understand, it went pretty close with ONIC being accepted. And then unfortunately, ONIC did also actually say that they wanted to stay in Valorant regardless if they get chosen or not.
Right.
And then we kind of found out after they didn't get chosen, I was willing to stay on, play Ascension or play like the challengers with ONIC. And then after a little bit, we found out actually they're going to be stepping away from Valorant.
Damn.
And yeah, and then that's when RRQ reached out to me and then did the interviews and everything. And then yeah, it's kind of just joined up on RRQ. I think they wanted someone that is familiar with the Indonesian players.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had a pretty good track record. Pretty young still, but decent track record, and I got along really well with the Indonesian players. I really enjoyed working with them. So then, them being representing Philippines at the time,
Yes.
so then wanted to do a potential like merger between having a Filipino and Indonesian
Yes.
roster. In terms of like they really wanted to kind of pay respect and also say thank you to the Filipino scene, because they, as I understand correctly, that RQ was in Indo first and then left Indo and then
Correct.
went over to Philippines
Mhm.
and had really good success there, especially
Yeah.
towards the end because they won. And then I think they really wanted to give back to the Filipino players that were on the team and the community. That like there's a lot of fans that like Filipino fans that supported the RRQ Valorant. So even though they got chosen to represent Indonesia, I think wanted to kind of do good to the fans and have a mixture of the roster. So that was the intention with why RRQ came in as a dual nationality roster.
Yeah. I'm so glad you touched on it, because that is definitely the burning question that everybody had. Because
Yeah.
the intention was good, and I understand
Yeah.
it completely, right? But we probably have a bit of a different, more mature perspective. But the community
At the time.
at the time,
They absolutely hated
they
it, bro.
hated it so much.
Yeah.
It's nonstop, like every single day. It's just people just shitting on the decision. So I wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit, if you may speak about it. What was the process like to finally start integrating some of the Indonesian players finally? Because at first,
Yeah.
like when RQ got announced, if I remember correctly, the first 3 players announced were the Filipinos, and then only then slowly starting to announce the
Yeah.
Indonesian players, like Flip Jider, I believe was the first one,
Yeah.
and then David, and then finally Elmi Moore, and then finally there's a bit of a Indonesian and Filipino mix there. But at the start, it was just fully Filipino when they're actually chosen as a rep for Indonesia. So
Yeah.
what was it like, the transition, if you can speak about it?
I think there was a little bit of chaos during that time. So we had a
For
full
sure.
So we had full trials. Everyone
I see.
Indonesians. So Alter Ego was actually said their players are not allowed to trial.
Yes.
So that's we had
remember.
Boom and ONIC basically trialing, and then we had some outside Filipinos, like for example EJ that was not on RQ before, and the RQ players were on contract already anyway. So but I wanted to kind of have everyone have an objective look at everyone, regardless if you're on the roster already. So then initially a lot of stuff happened in terms of there was a manager before who was my main contact point, and then he ended up leaving kind of midway through all of this.
Oh yeah.
This is, okay.
It was the
Yeah.
Filipino manager, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So there was quite a lot of confusion there because he was my main contact point
Yeah.
first, and then you're gone. Okay, so wait, what exactly are we? So it was a little bit confusing. And then looking at potential 6-man roster, and then also, of course, there was interest for the Indonesian boys from some other teams as well. So that's why you also saw them later on get announced. So I think I may be incorrect, but I think there was a misunderstanding in terms of when the roster had to be announced. And so I think there was a thought that the roster had to be announced by then, like just at least 5 players need to get locked, and then you can make changes after that. But I think it was just a soft lock instead. You didn't have to necessarily announce it. So I think there was some confusion, and that's why you saw a group of Filipinos and one Indonesian.
Yeah.
And even though the discussions and negotiations were still ongoing with the
see.
Indonesian players.
I see.
So that's kind of how I understood it, and like everything that happened there. I think maybe at some point you can get some of the management from RRQ State get to explain
Yeah.
that a little bit
Where's
better.
John?
I
Find him.
dearly hope so. I dearly hope John's gonna come in here and explain everything.
So that's actually before John. John wasn't.
Oh, that's
Oh,
before
it
John.
wasn't
Yeah.
there yet.
Oh,
So John wasn't busy with RRQ Valorant at the
Right.
time.
Okay.
He was with RRQ, but not with the
Yeah.
Valorant.
He joined like the second
Oh.
year Pacific, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
if
he's
I
been
remember
around for at least,
correctly.
the last couple of years.
Yeah. So I was mostly with Nano,
I see.
with Kelvin,
Yeah.
and then the old manager, and then yeah. So you can see these other guys that came in first, and then there was more being added afterwards. So the intention was always good, but yeah, it was absolute disaster kind of in terms of the
Yeah.
announcement.
Did you feel like that announcement or like the reception to it from the community affected the players in any way, especially the Indonesian players on the team? Did they feel like, "Oh, we kind of want some of our own guys in here"?
I think yeah, of course, like with the amount of Filipino players that were announced first, some of the Indonesian guys were like, okay, yeah, wait, where's the rest of the Indonesians? Like, wait, you guys are representing Indo, so which I completely understood also. So it's valid. But in the end, I think we kind of made close to the best roster that we could. So some negotiations didn't go exactly as planned, so not everything worked out exactly. And then we ended up with the roster like that. Of course, yeah, because of all of the like kind of the scrutiny and everything, and we came in as like everyone said we're gonna be the worst team in franchising after all of the drama. So we just we'll be the underdog. It's not like there was big ego on the Indonesian players after, like, it's LCQ still, like the big dogs aren't in LCQ, right? So it's not like the Indonesian players all of a sudden felt like, okay, well, we deserve to be tier 1, we're the best here. The Boom and ONIC was not on PaperX level. So it's not there wasn't really that ego in terms of that.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, because I remember even as a Filipino, I was like, why is it full of Filipinos? But I'm glad to hear that eventually, and to see that Indonesia finally got like their proper roster on the board. Because I remember even back in the day, everybody was saying, aside from Thailand, Indonesia's got the deepest talent pool in all of SEA.
Still do. They still have it.
Yeah.
And what's cool is that they weren't the worst team in that first year.
Yeah.
So RRQ was like,
No, you were not.
Yeah.
No, you were not.
Well, then I'm also kind of curious though, like, how did you go from that first year transition to the decisions that you then made for second year, third year Pacific?
So first year was kind of chaos at the start, right? So with the announcement, everything's a little bit chaos. To be fair, everyone that got picked on merit. The guys that got picked are the ones that performed well in trials, had good attitudes, and is kind of gelled well together. I think there was a lot of times that we could have won a lot more series in year 1, but we just kind of wanted to see how well we can do. Of course, we just do our best. We worked really hard. Because of course it was the first time for the Indonesians also to speak full-time English. Before that, it's all Bahasa Indonesia. So that was a big transition, to be honest. So I had to get used to that. And then going into year 2, I noticed, we need to make some upgrades. And there's a lot of things that I knew we needed to do. Tulis was one of the spots that we had to upgrade, and then the goal shifted, and the goal has been, since the end of year 1 for me, has been we need to qualify to international event, and I need the roster to be strong enough to also to be competitive at the international event. I don't want to just get to international event and then or get there by lucky, and then there's no point in us being
Happy
there,
to be
which
here.
is quite ironic, because you can make quite a nice edit of me saying that and then show Masters
This
Toronto,
year,
right? But that was the plan. That was the plan with the roster, with the adjustments we made, and Jemkin coming in, and Estrella coming in. So that was always the goal, and like keep that same work ethic. Yeah.
John D, you know what to clip and edit after this. Hit him with the
That's
clickbait.
right.
Seed Farm. Thanks, Ewok.
Oh
Thanks
my
for the
God.
soundbite. Okay, so
wait, I
yeah,
want to
let's
talk
go
about
ahead.
though, like the end of 2023, and then into kind of, you know, what was going on there. So you guys had kind of a, we'll call it unfortunate result in LCQ, right? Like
Yeah.
where you just barely lose to Zeta, and then you barely lose to Genji. Was that kind of like the impetus to like, we actually are really close, like next year we could start, you know, thinking about internationals? Or was, you know, what was kind of how did that affect you guys going into the next year, I guess is the way I want to ask it.
I think the big thing is that we could always see improvement. We were always getting better in scrims. We were always getting better in matches as well. We just had to play more and more matches. It's so difficult to improve if you're not qualifying to like later stages of tournaments to the playoff because you're just playing so little matches. So we just need more and more. Our players needed experience. We had 2 guys that been to champs once, and a lot of it, like their Valorant career was played in COVID. So there's not a lot of LAN experience there. There's 2 matches for Xfero and for Flipsitter.
Yep.
So they played 2 matches of like LAN. Flip played some LAN before, of course, in CS and everything, but there was no experience. We just needed to play. So then it's just, okay, we can see we're getting better, but we need a bit more, to be honest. Needed more firepower to be able to compete against like the big dogs. So, and that's kind of, I think that what also like kept me in a job, because I worked really hard. I promised them I'll win you a trophy. That was my promise. When I signed, that's what I will do. I worked really hard, and they could see that there's improvement. So for that, I'm so grateful to RRQ in terms of that. After year 1, there's a lot of teams that just, okay, well, you guys didn't do what we want you to do. All right, next.
Bye-bye.
Right? There's a lot of teams that just do that. Go next. Go next. Go next. So for me, yeah, I was always really grateful for RQ in terms of like them continuing to trust me and trusting in that process and seeing the improvement.
Definitely, that's
For sure.
super cool. Shout out to RQ. So yeah, then we got into year 2024, where I believe this is where Estrella came in, right? 2024. Yeah. So maybe you can break it down a little bit, just really briefly, before we wrap and get to 2025. Like,
Yeah.
what was that like? And I'm always like listening on the ground, right? And I hate the community sentiment so much, but I always listen to them. I'm just brain rotting on like these community comments. So they're always commenting on Estrella's performance and his impact. And I believe you also transitioned him into an IGL role. And one of the key like critiques that I've heard from people is that, you know, this is the person that doesn't speak Indo or English as like a native or even a second language, right?
Yeah.
So what was that decision like, and what rationale was put into that, if you can share?
Yeah. So initially when we trialed Jemkin and Estrella together with the other 3, and it was probably the most instant chemistry I've seen from a team
Really?
that has only played like a couple of scrims.
Wow.
There was a good level of chemistry, and I thought, okay, well, if I'm comparing what we started with 2023 in terms of we're starting at such a higher level of chemistry, and I know how much we can improve, so I could kind of see what's the possibility if this is where we're starting. This is the starting block, right?
Yeah.
And then as time went on, in terms of calling, Estrella is really smart, and I think he's quite like undervalued in terms of that's also why he went to DRX. There's also Termi also saw something in him, and I think Estrella gets overhated in terms of in that regard. For us, I learned a lot actually from him, because there's a little bit of a different style, more that Korean style that he's been taught by previous coaches. So him and I could have a lot of conversations in terms of the calling, and it was a little bit more similar in terms of how I see the game versus how Flip was calling. And we had to make sure there was a time when just before we transitioned the IGL was that we had Estrella and Flip both fragging a little bit like IGLs and having 3 other guys. So we're like, okay, we have 2 guys that are like brains, but we don't have enough firepower right now. We need more firepower. We can't rely so much on the rest of the guys. We can't rely too much on Jemkin. So then we had to make the decision in terms of changing over, and then end up for Flipsitter as well. Moved out, and then when Monyet came available, so then Monyet came in for that swap. And yeah, Flip was great in the team. It's just kind of just how the way for me it's always been. I always talk with all the players. It's not something just decision I make by myself. Okay, you're IGL now. You're this. You're this. This is your role. It's always team discussion.
Okay. Got
That's
it.
a nice way to put it.
Yeah. So if you guys are hating Kushi, why are you playing Sentinel? Kushi, why Sentinel? This is a team discussion. We have a lot of hard discussions. This is something that he said he'll play as well. He's open to playing it. Of course, it didn't work out as we hoped, but it was just because of time constraint. It's probably the main thing. I know we're skipping to 2025, but the main, if there's one quote for 2025, it was time constraint. Really, everything was so back together.
Yeah.
Still.
2025. Well, you guys were able to find another IGL in that 2025. How did that go? That was I think that was kind of almost like a surprise pickup for everybody involved, wasn't it?
Yeah, at least at the end of 2024, we saw a lot of improvement. We qualified for playoffs for the first time, and we saw, okay, we're getting better, we're getting closer. And then after kickoff, it wasn't a decision of Estrella getting benched. He asked to leave. So we had to, all of a sudden, we were on break, actually. I was like 2 days in on my break. I get a phone call. Okay, he's not going to be with the team anymore. We need to find a new IGL. Who are we getting? And I was like, okay, let me see who is there, and short list of players who we wanted. I'm not going to name too many names, but very high on our list.
Maybe.
Okay.
Pretty
fair, I've openly talked about Javi was on the list.
Okay, right.
I have talked about that. A crazy guy. Because of the very short turnaround, we cut our break so that we could trial.
I see.
After kickoff, and then we trialed with crazy guy. Everyone was like, "Oh, okay, this feels pretty good." We talked. Everyone, you guys are comfortable? Okay. Do we need to trial some more? Okay, stage 1 is coming real soon. We need to make a decision real soon as well. And we decided together that, okay, let's go with crazy guy. This seems like there's good chemistry there. I spoke a lot to him one-on-one in terms of what I want as an IGL. I think there's times throughout with the previous 2 IGLs with Flip and Estrella where I could have been more assertive in terms of this is exactly what I want from you as a leader, and this is what I expect from you. So I wanted to put the guidelines a little bit better. And for crazy guy, all credit to him in terms of I put the guidelines there, but he's very solid head on his shoulders already. He knows what it takes to be a leader, and he's good with people. Luckily, he's good with a rifle as well. So yeah, it was very, very short notice, and then quick turnaround for stage 1, and it kind of, I guess, it went a little bit better.
A little bit.
But to be fair, it went a little bit better. Yeah, you see the trophy there. But after we lost to, I think, Nongshim, our first game with Crazy Guy, everyone was on our back, and that's when the Indonesian community was very much coming for my neck to say, yeah, your run's over, man. You're cooking too much. Why are you bringing in Crazy Guy?
I just want to say,
if I remember, sorry to cut you off, Sleepy. I feel like that game was the one where like you guys ran out of time a whole bunch. Like you just like it was
a
like,
couple on those, yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
this
and
is just
that was
growing
kind of
pains. Growing pains. We had to get used to in terms of, so it's because there's been a lot of transitions, and the way that Crazy Guy calls is very different to Estrella. We were already very comfortable with how Estrella was calling, so now everyone in a quick turnaround needs to get comfortable with Crazy Guy. And we had to like swap around a little bit of roles, and we then started to move over towards Teo later on. We were a little bit late with Teo, but then it perfectly fit us because we had this two Sova players. And Kushi's job had to change quite a lot when Crazy Guy came in. Kushi was, and that's also why you saw such a good kickoff from Kushi. He was extremely comfortable. But the moment Crazy Guy comes in, then Kushi's role needs to change a little bit as well. So because Crazy Guy is a little bit more aggressive, versus Estrella was just at the back throwing you till flash, stun. And that's something Estrella, if you go check the stats, this guy was almost always at the top with the most assists. He was so good for Jemkin to set him up. So Crazy Guy is a different style. Yes, he's good with assists, but he's more like in your face. He's going to be taking more duels. So a different style. So it's just some growing pains, to be honest.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Adjustments.
Yeah,
Well, the
look
result
about
spoke for
Indonesia. Sorry, just real quick. They're just super loud, man. I mean, to be fair, it applies everywhere in the world. Like, people will hate you if you're not winning, right? The only thing that will satisfy them is if you start winning, and that's what happened with you. That's what happened with us. But Indonesia is just super loud because we got so much time on our hands. You know, we have nothing to do around here.
What?
I just remember every post everywhere, Ewok out, Ewok out.
I
But
think
again,
that's just how Asians are sometimes, you know, like with
That's
these
true.
competitions. Have you guys been
Sports
watching Physical Asia, for example? Anytime a country gets
actually.
eliminated, just the fans from each country are just hammering.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't. That the time was an interesting time, and credit again to RRQ. They never felt like there was any pressure on my position. They knew what I was doing and how much I was putting in, and same with the players. It was we knew there was no pressure on anyone's spot. We're just in this process, so we kind of just shut down a lot of the outside, and just put head down, to be honest, and just grind it.
And that seems like it just really helps you feel so much more secure, you know, and that leads to that performance in this year as well. Like, it's not just the stage 1 win. It also kind of brought over, I mean, I know Toronto was, Bangkok, Toronto was a little bit, you know, whatever happened, but yeah, right. That's why the time constraint. But stage two was dope. Stage 2 had us all kind of like really hyped up, and I think there's like a nice contrast that you can kind of put with the clip of Monyet crying with their time at ONIC, and then Monyet crying because they're happy and they made it to champs. Like, that is so sweet.
Now that time killed me, to be honest. Between stage 1 to Toronto EWC to stage 2, that was some of the best and worst times of my career. So high winning stage 1, and in a way it felt like, okay, yeah, we're finally getting good. And then this meta change happens, map changes happen, and then we like just bomb out of Toronto. We don't do well at EWC either. We beat only one team, and all of a sudden the vibes are, it's not great, and there's a lot of pressure on us. Once again, Ewok out, boom boom is back, all the players out, kick this guy. So to be honest, we had a lot of long, hard conversations in terms of what we needed to do, in terms of roles, in terms of how we need to improve. We need to make sure we don't get kind of relaxed ever. We need to work so hard. The season's almost over, and no one's gonna care if you won stage 1 and you didn't qualify to champs. No one's gonna remember you winning stage 1. That doesn't matter. There was no prize pool. There was nothing. You know, there's a trophy, which is really nice, and that's what we wanted to do, but our goal was to go to champs. So that is the goal: go to the international, go to champs. So a lot of hard conversations there, to be honest, and tough conversations. And credit to the boys; they took it really well. And we tried to kick on. When we were in EWC and it wasn't too great, we also saw what our group was going to look like, because like when you come back from EWC, there's very little time, right?
Yes.
And we saw our group, and it's just a bunch of Koreans, and we're like, and the form that we're in, I can speak for my teammates as well. There's a little voice, we don't say it out loud, but there's a little voice that there's a chance to win stage 1 and go 0-5 here. There's a chance, because the group was so stacked.
Yeah.
And then once again we lost our first match, and then again, a lot of conversations.
You lost to
A lot of
GE,
practice.
didn't you?
Yeah, lost to G. We got smashed by
Oh,
G.
Euro
that's
time,
rough.
man.
Yeah.
We got smashed, man. That was the toughest game. That and MIBR is probably the most smashed I've ever felt as a coach. It's just nothing we could do, man.
Yeah, there you go.
GE Ruffle stumped us.
Oh yeah, 3 Koreans, Team Secret. Like the Koreans, I can understand, but these 2 teams are wild cards, right? Team Secret, Global Esports. You never know what they're gonna do next. They're the never let them know
Yeah.
your next move type of
Well,
teams.
To be fair, GE is technically a Korean team at this point, right?
Oh yeah, that's
So
well,
it's
that's
DRX, Korean, Nongshim,
Uh-huh,
Genji, and GE, and then Team Secret,
and
right?
Team Secret, the wild card. Yeah,
And Team
Yeah.
Secret had beaten you in stage 1.
yeah.
Exactly. Right at the end of stage 1, right
Team
before
Secret-
playoffs, we lost.
Will
to Team
beat
Secret.
you when you least expect it. Always.
Well, you know that better than
Always.
anybody, Sleepy.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello, fellow victim here. So this was tough. Like, and I was
Yeah.
at Paperex, and we were like, oh, okay, this is fine. I think 2 Japanese. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, no hate, but yeah, it was pretty chill for us. But I can imagine it was really tough for you, especially with the
Yeah.
brutal schedule from stage 1 EWC and
Yeah.
finally
No,
stage
it
2.
was rough. Everyone was really
crazy.
tired
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
point already, to be honest, because a lot of traveling, more traveling than what all of the boys are used to.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then that's kind of when we started to create a little bit more of our own meta. Is so, to be honest, is something that for Jemkin, I'll give him the credit, like, so that we're kind of one of the first teams that played a lot more Waylay, and he just told me like, yo, I like this new Waylay, this Saturate, this Hinder is
Right.
so good, people are sleeping on it. And I was like, yeah, it's good, I understand. Do you think it's that good? And he's like, yeah, it's that good. So okay, I trust him, play him some more on it. And then I started to think, what if we just play the Waylay on almost every map, just because of how the stun works, but you need another duelist with him, because playing the Waylay solo is not so nice
Oh, it's hard.
if you're not playing it with a Breach or a KO.
Yeah.
Then okay, well, what if happens if we play it with Neon, because both of them can just kind of send it in together, and both have a technically like stun. Neon has a stun and the Saturate, so they can like just kind of depend which one wants to go first, and they can just work off each other. The Waylay can go in first, Saturate, go recall back, and then Neon can just go and kill a saturated enemy. So they kind of worked really well with each other. And then I wanted to play Waylay Yoru, but unfortunately, and we played it on Bind, but Waylay and Yoru were both Jemkin agents and not really Monyet agents. Monyet played a lot more Neon, of course, and Raze.
Yes.
So, and he did play the Yoru before on Haven, it wasn't as good for us when we played the ISO Yoru. And he also tried on Bind, where he played the Waylay, but he could just never get as much impact as he could get on some of the other agents. So, and he, to be honest, I definitely think he can play the Waylay and the Yoru. He just needed more time, but we didn't have that. We didn't have that luxury. So I was just thinking, can we play this on every map? So I started making comps for so many maps. That's why you saw us play it on the sand. It was something that's very comfort for us. And then we started playing it on Corrode as well, and had a lot of success and impacted the meta quite a bit on Corrode. So yeah, that's kind of stage 2 was like, okay, well, we need to do something. So let's just try to invent more of our own style. We have to move away from stage 1, forget RRQ stage 1. We need a whole new style, or we need to reset our own meta. We can't just rely on Theo.
It seems so important. I mean, just look at what happened with Champions, right? Like DRX like popularizes the Waylay Yoru. Like, yes, people were running it, but they really just leaned into it, and it turned out to be a good enough meta read, right, to get you to third. Like, how hard is it in Valorant? Because the agents are changing so much, the maps are changing, like, to get that right meta read, right? Like, you've talked about that a couple times here. Like, what does it take to do that?
To be honest, you look like an idiot if you get it wrong too, and it can cost your job if you get it wrong.
So true.
Something I'd like to give a shout out real quick is for all the teams that embraced a little bit more double duelist. Do you guys remember there's a time like 2 years ago, maybe not even 2 years ago, but if you run double duelist, it's like you're trolling.
Yes.
Like people, if you're not Paper X, people are convinced you're trolling.
Yes.
So there was a time when in Valorant, for the longest time, for the first like 3-4 years almost.
Yeah, even until like up to last year or even early this year, you're still like
coaches would
viewed as
lose their
trolling.
job
Yeah,
trying to innovate.
Yeah.
And I feel like we finally broke out of that mold a little bit,
Mm.
and a lot of coaches, including myself, at times you're scared to kind of do too much.
Yeah.
Because it could cost your job, and it's something that maybe works really good in prac, but you don't know. You need to play some matches first, so it's something where finally breaking out of that mold, I think, was a huge deal. I think, to be honest, in hindsight, I think I could have done more earlier on in like year 1 and year 2, but there was always that pressure of if you get it wrong, then it goes so wrong, right? But luckily, some teams have like broken out, try some crazy stuff, and then if you win on it, then okay, you're not crazy, right? So then I think breaking out of that blueprint was really good, and that kind of opened up for us as well to try more crazy things.
Nice.
Makes sense.
That's good.
Sick.
So why do you think you've been so good against Koreans, Ewok? Like now you've talked about like, you know, you're adapting. You found like this chemistry, this roster, and it's just something about RRQ that's always a fun watch when a Korean team is attached next to it in a match post.
I think
What's
we
an
just got to
edge?
play against them so much. We played against Genji so much from the start, and we always lost. And if you look back at those games, there were a lot of those games that were really close, or like 13-11. So that's also why people are like, 2025, all of a sudden, you guys are so good. What did you do? And I'm like,
Did you see our last 3 years?
yeah, 2024 was not that bad in terms of there's so many moments. There's a Zeta moment in 2023.
Yep.
Then, which the whole thing changes, right? The whole narrative
Yeah.
changes if we can potentially win there. And then 2024, if we just beat Genji once or twice, that means us going further into tournaments. We just played a kickoff where we played them twice somehow in the same tournament. So it's just there's so many times when we were so close. So people were just like, okay, yeah, you guys were garbage before, and 2025 comes along, and all of a sudden you guys are good. But I think that's for the casual. It's like that. But I do implore people to kind of see the progress that all of these players have made along the way, and it's not just all of a sudden lucky 2025 was pretty decent.
I mean, that's frustrating to hear, because the narrative, at least with the talent and us, you know, on air and behind the scenes, was you guys are so close to being good. Like always, we were like watching you guys, like, God, they're so freaking close. Like, come on, like we just wanted you to push over that line, because, like you're saying, all these matches that are just heartbreakers, and then you finally did. But it's just so funny to me. Like fans just see like the 2-0 or the 2-1, and they're like, "Oh, you're trashed."
Yeah,
like it's not really the whole story. Come on, like I know it is how it is, but.
But I'll definitely always remember. Actually, sorry. I mean, like even 2023, I think, like, remember that year, DRX was kind of like untouchable. Maybe PaperX was the only one who could somewhat challenge them. But I will always remember RRQ actually took a map off of them, specifically on Haven. And it was like some really cool, you know, macro map strat thing that they did. That was like, that's that progress that leads on to 2024 and 2025.
Yeah, slowly it's kind of developed. Just play against the Korean teams a lot. I think maybe it helped me understand Korean teams a little bit better after having Estrella on the team. And I've always, since ONIC, since GE, and since South Africa, White Rabbit Gaming, I've always done all of the anti. So I feel like I've had a lot of time doing anti and picking up on like macro stuff and tendencies and patterns. And a lot of times some of the Korean teams do have some tells, some stuff that we could exploit. There's a couple of times, especially 2024, Genji's couple of stuff that we could exploit, even when they were at their peak. And that's why I think we had such close games against them when they were kind of smashing a lot of other teams, to be honest. And then same goes for 2025. I think we could get some good reads, but then also I just think for the players, they felt more comfortable to play against it. A lot of times they would make the expected play, which was sometimes easier to react to, in terms of, because we talk a lot about macro and we talk a lot about what is the right play. And a lot of times you can expect some of the Korean teams to make the right play, so you can react accordingly.
Hey,
Wow.
Versus some of the other teams don't necessarily make the objectively right play, and it catches you off guard, because you don't necessarily have. Yeah. Sometimes yes, sometimes yes, but yeah, it's not with like PaperX. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying PaperX is they're awful at macro. They're just doing crazy things. There's a lot.
No,
of things.
I'm telling you, we are awful at macros.
No, so what I'm saying counter that there is actually a lot of times when people don't give maybe as much credit to PepperX in terms of how they do understand the macro in terms of reacting. It's not just 5 guys just running together.
You're right.
Sometimes, right?
You're right. You're right.
So I think there's just a good level of understanding between those 5, and I think that's a lot of teams say we want to be PepperX, but okay, have you guys been together for 5 years? All right. Do you guys have that level of understanding?
Yes.
Together to work off each other? I don't think so. So that you can't just be PepperX. It doesn't work like that.
As they say, you gotta understand the box first before you can think outside of it.
Yeah, 100%, man.
That's so
100%.
deep, man.
Fire!
I like that.
But can we
Okay.
talk a little bit about also, I mean, Korean Slayers, they beat a lot of Korean teams. Specifically, I think it's the resilience as well, right? That one, the very first one that kicked off the whole streak, the first one against Genji. That was like a crazy comeback, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
How the heck did you pull that off with crazy guy and the whole team? It was
The sunset.
Yep.
There we go.
Damn.
Oh,
bro.
10-2.
10-2.
So to preface, I think the whole lower bracket run, I don't think there's no way we can do the lower bracket 1 if we didn't win stage 1. Because of winning stage 1, there's this inherently that we're not shit. We're actually a decent team, and sometimes it's something that I so many times have to reiterate to our boys, and a lot of times that's why you see us not having like in stage 2. I don't remember exactly the stat, but I think it's like we won 2 out of 13 first maps or something in stage 2.
Right.
So a lot of times it's like we forget that we're actually good at this game, and then once we get the ball rolling, then we're good at the game.
Right.
So there's a little bit of issue like that there, and it's something that we worked a lot to try and improve. But for this game, it's just, I think, no one gave up. We've been doing a lot of work with our sports psychologist. This is especially after kickoff, when we had that Nongshim, the crazy overtime with Nongshim. I think that one kicked off a lot of like, we need to be stronger mentally. If we were stronger mentally, we win this series. This is a different thing. If we can beat them, our whole kickoff looks different, and we need to improve on it. So we're openly talking about it more, and the boys started buying in more into our performance coach Rebecca, into what she has to teach them, taking it more serious in terms of diet and what being a professional is, and all of that coincide with also improved performance in game. And that's something that I've always believed that is very important, that all of these outside of things, they do affect your in-game. You can't just think you're going to get away with doing whatever you want and be the best. You need to train like the best. You need to think like the best if you want to be the best.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Love that. Like even sleep and recovery are things that
100%.
a lot of people who don't have that competitive experience underestimate like how much that affects you even in game.
It's huge. I think sleep is one of probably the most important things. I'm a bit of a hypocrite on this one myself because
Such a tough job to do.
For me, I kind of found out at some point during my coaching career, I don't fall off too much if I have very little sleep. So I just saw which one has more benefit and like what is the net. Is there a net outcome? Less sleep, but there's a net positive. Okay, so I'll do that. So I just sleep most of the time. If it's like playoffs, I'll just sleep like 2-3 hours.
This is why you had an economics degree, Ewok.
Oh my
God. I need a balance.
Sleep and
put some graphs up
utility.
there. Exactly.
You're just min-maxing, bro. Don't pretend like
I
this
have
is
to see, man.
Sleep.
What is the opportunity cost of sleep? Right, we have a little bit more here.
That's very good.
But this always annoyed me because when you guys finally qualify for these global events in Toronto and Paris, and I'm at breakfast, your boys are there, and you're not, and I'm like, well, where is
Ewok?
where is he?
Sleeping,
And they're
man.
like, he's either VOD reviewing or getting the little sleep that he gets. I'm like, well, I want to talk to him. What the hell? Come down here. Like, come on.
there's not an international event. Playoffs, yeah, sleep.
I
Doesn't
think I'll
really happen.
remember as
Yeah.
well. Like there was
Not
one
too
time
much.
you came into our talent room and you just looked like a freaking zombie. You're so dead tired. They were asking you like, "Oh, your next match tomorrow, you're playing against like talent or Paper X or something," and you're like, "Yep, Warbirds has the first shift, and then I'll take the
Yeah.
next shift. I'll wake up and do the anti-strategy afterwards."
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy.
That's kind of just how we did it in terms of sometimes I would sleep a little bit earlier, maybe sleep at like 2 to like 6 maybe on a good night.
On a good night.
On a good night. So this is playoffs time, right?
Okay.
This is not like a normal league.
That's a
I
half
do.
buy on sleep and then eco.
Yeah, half buy. This is sometimes I go for like the full, just classic no armor. So yeah, then
Okay.
Evan Warbirds, he would do the first shift, make sure so he gets the base of everything for the anti-strat ready. Does a lot of the like heavy lifting also throughout the week to do the very like time constrained ones, like carry this, where I don't have time to go through. And he would also watch more maps than I would, and I would watch more intense, a couple of maps per map, or a couple of matches per map, and then add all macro tendencies, patterns, everything like that we can use to kind of exploit the other team. And then the morning before, I would share the antidote to the team. Yeah,
Crazy.
it's kind of
Nice.
that was our system.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well,
how was?
touching-
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. I'm trying to be humble. I was gonna ask, like, how was integrating Warbirds into the team? Because I know, like, he came from Team Secret, and frankly, a lot of Filipino fans were pretty happy that he was able to find another team afterwards, and a great team as well. So, how was integrating him into the roster?
Yeah, I always kind of struggled to find the right assistant coach beforehand, because in 3 years I had 3 different assistant coaches, or technically one's analyst. I think I could do a better job at delegating at times. I'm very much a little bit of a perfectionist at times, so I want it exactly how I want it in terms of and the quality that I want. So for Warbirds to try to give him more responsibility in terms of, okay, I don't have time to do this, but this is important, but it is quite time consuming to do. Can you do this for me? Can you bring this for me? Can you bring this for me? Can you do this for me? And all credit to him always. Yeah, let's go. He do this. So for him, he saved me like so much time and helped me with so many things in terms of, there's no way we could have survived through this year if it was me alone. There's no way. He helped with so many things, helped so many hours sitting with like getting lineups for players as well, where we've had, okay, we need a lineup to do this type of fake, and he would just sit there and find it. He's pretty good at finding lineups pretty fast. So he helped so much with just general work stuff that I could never like do by myself.
Wait, what happened to the suit? We got wait.
Okay,
Just
that's
remind
a
me.
good question. Yes.
Question.
What happened to the suit, bro? I missed the suit, the turtlenecks. You were like speaking to me personally, like
He
how
went
much I
from a
love
suit
those.
with the turtleneck, and then at one
Yeah.
point he had like a cool.
This is my
Attack on
dream
Titan
that
jacket.
Riot lets me wear turtlenecks every day, and they don't. This looks too professional.
To be honest, I don't really know. We weren't really winning a lot when I was wearing the suit. And then
okay.
Okay.
the suit takes a little bit more time as well. And if I'm
Yeah.
not sleeping a lot, there's no time for the suit. So I
Right.
just put on the jersey,
True that.
and we
All
started
right.
winning more. So I stayed with it, to be honest. I
Okay.
didn't want to bring back the suit and bring back maybe some
Bad
less
luck.
wins.
Bad
Oh,
juju.
you're full-fledged Southeast Asian now, brother. You're
Yeah,
you're
no, I know.
super
To be fair, I've
serious.
always
You embrace
been
the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
I gotta
good.
say
No,
that,
I'm
I gotta say-
honorary Indonesian.
Yeah.
The suit
yeah.
that he wore on the desk at the Bangkok Ascension finals, that was nice. That was really sharp
Thank you,
dressed
thank you.
man.
Wait, did they
Thank
let you guys dress up for that one? Did you guys go like more
Pull it up.
formal? Yeah, pull it up. I want
yeah.
to see. I didn't get to see the
We had
much
like
of that.
3 different
I
dress
was-
codes for 3 different
I was
days.
damn.
busy
Yeah, we're busy
in
with the dress code.
Indonesia, or not in Indonesia,
No,
Malaysia.
and yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
wanna
While
see-
Twandy's looking
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah, what I missed out on anyway.
Yeah, just really quick. Also on the performance coach side, like, what would you feel is the best like thing that kind of brought value to the players? And maybe this is something that other teams can also look out for, because now we're starting to see a lot of teams actually take this seriously, right? Like
Yeah.
before this, I
Mhm.
feel like Valorant is kind of lagging behind in the mental health
100%.
department.
Yeah.
But now we're starting to see the momentum going. So, what would be your pitch to like other teams if they were to like consider this line of work for them?
Mm. Also for us, I can kind of just speak from experience in terms of Rebecca helped the players a lot. She's very much also like a mom in the bootcamp. She's very important that she, from my experience, is the performance coach needs to be there in person.
Mm.
Stop doing. I'm gonna give you guys some free advice here. You guys, I'll send my details. Stop doing your performance coach and everyone online. This is important to have human interaction. These players are not robots. They need to be able to talk to someone, have different options to talk to people, whether it's be head coach, assistant coach, the manager, sports psychologist. These people are trained to be able to deal with players and their emotions of being a professional athlete. So helping them with diet especially is something that helped us a lot.
Mm.
And then just being able to, it's very
Aw.
normal. Yeah, shout out to Rebecca.
Oh,
Awesome.
Is a very important job, and I think it still gets undervalued, and it helped us a lot. She was been with us since a little bit, I think 2024 end she was already there,
I see.
but online first.
Okay.
And then once she came over, then she was in China with us as well for off season. So it's made a huge difference to have her in person. And very much she understands, she's Malaysian, and she understands kind of the culture
Culture,
differences between, she understands our Indonesian boys really well. So I think it's been a really, really important thing for us. And it's someone that I implore for teams is get the right person.
Mhm.
This is someone that you need to be able to trust. This is someone that's very inside of your team, and there's a lot of trust and like kind of work that goes into building that relationship. So be smart about who you choose.
Definitely. One could even argue this sports psychologist person could be even closer to the players than a coach would be,
At
because
times, yes.
they get like deep like personally into
Yeah.
the
And it
product.
matters too, though, right? Because that kind of emotional,
Yeah,
I guess, baggage, I guess, sometimes
Yes.
can affect the players and their performance on
For
stage.
sure.
It's so underestimated. but
100,000%. We're
Crazy.
talking about like teenagers or early 20s
Yeah.
youngsters
Yeah,
who
yeah.
haven't
Some of them are
even learned
teenagers.
what is emotional management. Like some of them, most of them, I would argue, wouldn't know what that is. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
I think
29.
it's-
I
yeah,
can't. So
people
like,
forget.
I don't expect you guys
Alright. Sign you up for a class, BNB. Maybe this area. Okay.
So,
Anyway. There you
There
go.
we
where
go.
is this?
There you
suit?
go. Oh, dude,
Oh,
that's
come
really
on.
nice.
they let you guys look so nice.
So that's amazing.
Uh,
Wow.
I'm jealous.
This suits you, Ewok.
Thank you. I
What do you
might do a
think?
little bit more about it. I don't know. I might be wearing this just a little bit more.
So, okay, I think this is a perfect segue into a closing of the Ewok chapter, maybe. Where, obviously we all know and have been saddened by the fact that you've stepped down from RRQ. And it was a bit of like a surprise, because throughout the years, this is like the best year RRQ has ever had. And then you decided, you know what? Bye-bye. So we just wanted to know. I mean, you've probably explained it already, like in the other places and in your tweet, and also a little bit here at the start. But maybe just to like a final few words of what it was like coaching RQ and why you decided to step down, and what we can look forward to from an Ewok.
For me, it was a really difficult decision. And even when after I decided and the video came out, it's still really hard in terms of like I spent so much time for this roster, so much effort, and I'm so invested into this team, organization, the players, staff, everyone. So it's just I want to be able to give everything. Really, is kind of like I said earlier. If I feel like I can't give that 100%, then I'd rather not do it. And I think the players and everyone deserve for everyone to pull their weight and everyone to push as hard as they can. I'm someone that it's very important for me to keep that standard, to be able to push forward and to win more games. So for me, I just noticed, okay, I need some balance, and I want to be doing that job for more years to come. So right now for me, I need to take a break and be a little bit more balanced. I will be back coaching, and for me, this is just a small break so that I can be healthy, have a little bit more balance, and learn a little bit more about myself, because it's been so intense for like 4-5 years straight. So for me, just a little bit of balance really is the only thing until I return to coaching. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm glad to hear that.
Mm,
Confirmed right here on YAP2ASIA. Ewok will be back.
At some point. At some point.
At some point.
At the moment, I don't know when. I don't know when that will
Sure.
be. It won't be anytime near future.
Okay.
I will be taking off for the start of 2026. So it's later on. I don't know. At the moment, 2027.
Right.
I hope to be back.
Okay.
Okay.
Soon TM.
Seems-
Soon TM. All right.
Tomorrow.
Do you have any kind of one super fond memory of the team throughout all these years?
Oh wow, there's been so many. We live together, we travel everywhere together. It's off the top of my head, there's been so many good moments. I think the moments in terms of that I'm the most proud of is that when we can speak openly as not only professionals but just as humans, where we sit on the couch, whether we have won or we lost, and we're having that team discussion, and we can have a heart-to-heart, players to each other, and you can express your feelings without anyone getting hurt, just because you have built up that relationship with your teammate, and your teammate is no longer only a co-worker, he has become a friend, but you also understand that you need to push your teammate and your teammate is there to push you. I think those are the fondest moments for me, is when it's the most difficult, because those conversations are very difficult, and a lot of times I need to kind of guide it in the right way. But the most satisfying thing is seeing these players and myself also, seeing us grow together, and then seeing improvement from it, and from just being open as teammates.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bangkok. You were there, Ewok,
Yeah.
at Ascension. So maybe we can touch upon what happened. What was the highlights? What were your favorite moments? Just a general like impression of the whole event first, and then maybe we can get into the details for you.
The event was really fun. It was my first time in Thailand. And
Oh, first time?
Yeah, first time.
Oh,
So I was
damn.
really excited to do it. Even though it's like I was really tired after champs. Then I was like, okay, well, I already said yes to this, and I really enjoyed it last time. So I was like, okay, I'll do it again, and I really enjoyed it again. It was really nice to stay. We actually stayed in the same hotel as the players, so got to talk with them, kind of see how they interact. The different teams, in terms of there's like the slight differences between all of them. Got to speak with some of the players, some of the guys that I haven't been able to meet in person, so that was really nice. And interesting how different the teams are, because there's so many different cultures and so many different countries, right? So to see how everyone who hangs out a little bit more as a team, who's like a little bit more separate, because every team has their own vibe. So that was really cool to see. And then doing some of the, like, the content pieces and the interviews and stuff like that was interesting to get a little bit of like inside the head, and understanding a little bit better with the players and everything. So I'm always following the tier 2, like the challenger scene anyway. So it was fun to see them being able to play against each other. So overall, I think, yeah, the event was great, even though the
Nice.
Koreans are just too strong, man.
Follow-up question. So who had the best vibe? Ewok.
Oh, team vibe.
Team vibe. to be honest, SLT was together all the time.
That's why they
SLT, I
won.
really like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Motive, a lot of the times they were together as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of them just hanging out. They seemed like good friends as well.
Mm.
So it's every team a little bit different. I think Nongshim also, this is something interesting in terms of I don't think he would mind. But Silkanon, I saw quite a couple of times that he would he would sit in the lobby with RB and who was calling, and they would just have a long conversation. They had a like I would just see them having these intense conversations in terms of which of course I don't know what they're talking about, but I can just see there's like a lot of like a lot of talking going on, and it's just going on for hours.
Wow.
And I also saw him do the same with extras when they got a little bit further into the tournament. So of course, I don't know, I'm not privy to the information of what they're talking about, but it seems like he's really good with the player management in terms of taking that time and sitting down with them and having these deep conversations in terms of how to get the most out of his team. Because there was a time when Nongshim looked shaky, right? Like right at the start of the tournament, they looked shaky. So they were having those tough conversations. A lot of times I would see them together as well. So I think they got kind of put through the ringer a little bit at this Ascension. It wasn't as like free as before, for sure. So I think that it was cool to see.
Nice.
They pulled themselves through.
Yeah, they did.
SLT at some point they were like giving out choco pies. I don't know if Clinton knows about there's like a culture thing, like something in Korean, something to do with friendship. I can't remember. The dude explained it to me. something around
yeah,
that.
I mean it is. Well, it's like kind of one of those cultural foods here, right? That just like they're very proud of,
Yeah.
and it's like a snack food that like
I know.
everybody's gonna like.
The
Oh, okay,
latte
go ahead.
It's the equivalent of the Indomie.
Said. yeah. So they're like making
Juandi's,
friends
yeah.
after
Juandi's
these events.
diplomatic
Yeah.
journeys all over the Asia.
Yuandri, he's buttering me
Yeah.
up to get me on the podcast.
Yeah,
with Indomie.
exactly.
It's awesome.
Okay. That's cool.
But I do have a question. So I think one of the teams that kind of maybe flew under the radar, what was their vibe like? NKT, because when they were on stage, they like the first game and everything, like I think people didn't expect them to be there. The way they qualified
Yeah.
also was kind of like lucky maybe, but they were having fun. Like they were just popping off every round, like trash talking and everything. Did you talk to them, or were they like?
Yeah, I talked to Pum One Love, and interesting, he was very excited to be there. A lot of energy, and you saw it instantly, right? Like what you were talking about. It was like first round, pistol round, and they're just like standing up and giving it. I think they're probably the team outside of SLT that had the most fun. Unfortunately, not winning the most games, but they did seem like they had a lot of fun. To be fair, so I don't know exactly. I didn't see too much of them as a team together, and of course there's a little bit of a language barrier there, so didn't get to speak to them as much as I would have probably liked.
Nice. Sorry, this is a bit off topic, but do you feel like reading their names, they're so Thai? Like So Cool Soda and
No
Pum
shit,
One Love?
Sleepy.
The other names in this list, right? Like nobody sounds
Darf.
like Pum
That's my
One Love,
favorite.
So Cool
Darf.
Soda. Even Sushi Boys also gives that Thai.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but that's what I think.
Yeah.
When I saw, if I
Yeah.
see one of
Interesting
these
names.
names and I don't know where they're from, I'll just assume, oh, that guy's from Thailand.
I think you'll be right a lot of the time.
Yeah. It's easy to tell. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They have some interesting names. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So standout teams. Obviously we know who the winners are. But who were like you maybe were secretly rooting for that you thought, okay, this team is good vibes.
No
They
secret.
they have good vibes. They did some good plays. They have like strong fundamentals or whatever reason you might have. Like, was there a team like that in your mind?
I had a lot of hopes for Motive, to be honest.
Mm.
We got to speak with them a little bit in the lobby, spoke to some of the players alone as well. Styron's a guy that I've been enjoying watching for a long time. So I kind of really hoped for good things from them. Of course, Boom is like too biased, but of course I'm close to Shiro and NC Slasher especially, and then also got to know more with of Nats. So it was nice to see them there, and of course I was really hoping for them to take one of the spots. So unfortunately, yeah, they couldn't make it, but I think it's just the SLT and Nongshim just a little bit too far ahead. And they've kind of adapted this crazy style. And to be honest, as much as I like kind of rooting for Boom Motive, I liked SLT from the start because of how exciting they are to watch. They're very exciting and they're very young. I really enjoy seeing like the younger generation come through, and these guys, I really want to see them tested though, so that's why I'm also excited to see them in Tier 1, because in Ascension they weren't tested enough, but they were just so confident right from the start. Had the first interview with Klaus, and he was confident right from before they even played the game.
You tried to trip him up at times.
Yeah, I'm asking him questions like, are you guys scared you're going to be nervous, right? You guys are really young. So I'm trying to understand, because in a way I'm trying to help as well, that I don't want to see this young group come to Ascension and think everything's going to be easy and there's going to be no setbacks. We're not prepared, because in my experience, at least you need to be mentally prepared for that. There could be nerves, right? You have a lot of young players. If there's nerves, what are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
How do we overcome
it?
Right?
It,
Be prepared. I would hate to see like talented young players come through, but they're just oblivious to the fact of that this is land, this is new, this is different, right? So in a way, I'm trying to help them also in terms of like, are you guys ready for like a good fight here? And to be fair, he had the last laugh. He just said, "Okay, well, this is gonna be an easy fight, you know. No, who cares about nerves?
My
and we can
God.
just win and have fun."
This was so dirty.
This was amazing, dude. This was amazing.
Yeah, no, they really had so much fun at this event, and I think after like the first 2-3 wins, they kind of knew that they were gonna make it, and that was a little bit like nerve-wracking. Someone's like, it seems like they're overconfident, but yeah, apparently not. They just knew.
They have more aura than I've ever seen from any Korean team in my life.
Yeah, and it's different, right?
Actually,
super different, yeah.
Yeah, like usually polite, but these guys were like polite up to that point, and then they stood up.
But they're very friendly.
Yeah,
like, I really had really nice conversations with the coaching staff as well as the players. I have a lot of respect for them. They were very kind to me as well, in the interviews and everything. So so much respect to them, and I think for them there's a lot of potential for them to improve. But I hope they continue and not feel too confident. Like now, okay, this is step 1. If you want to do well in Pacific, Ascension should kind of be a breeze. That's the point, right? Like Ascension you shouldn't be struggling so hard in Ascension that in Tier 1 it's going to be, then it's too hard, right? Right. You want to be, the point of being in Tier 1 is you want to qualify to international events, right? Otherwise you're just happy to be there. Everyone else is happy to be there. That's just how it is. That was us the first 2 years. We're just happy to be there, because if you don't go to international events, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to be that team. What's the point of going, right? So hopefully for them, okay, this is step 1, and I'd like to see some new names, some young guys like take this opportunity.
Yeah,
sick
for sure. Do we have any teams that maybe disappointed us? I'll let Black and Blue jump on the one that I think
I know
disappointed me in a little bit. Not the most disappointing team for me, if you guys remember our Discord chat. But you know, like,
are we talking about Nals here? Is that
yes, maybe.
Honestly, I wasn't that disappointed by their performance, maybe because I didn't have too high expectations. Frankly, I saw the rosters coming into this tournament, and I thought, like, damn, it's pretty tough, man. Like SLT, we already talked about it. The Korean teams in general, like, are going to be a problem. Motive, I thought, was going to be another problem, actually.
Yeah.
I think the team that did surprise me was actually Velocity in this tournament.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was the one where I was like, these guys came in and they brought it a lot more than I expected.
Mhm.
But for now, I wasn't disappointed because I feel like individually, the players there that did show up made a good case for themselves coming into the 2026 year to be players to look out for, to possibly be scouted even in tier 1.
Yeah, that's important for Ascension. It's something that we tried to reiterate in some of the content pieces as well. Is that okay? You're competing to win, but you're also in this weird way. You're trying to advertise yourself,
Yes.
right? So don't play selfish, right? You don't want to just stat pad, but it is important that tier 1 teams are looking, right?
Mm.
So it's important that you don't give up at all. Like it's maybe games are going like a little bit hard. Like every little bit counts because it could be a difference for you as your individual career as well, right? Not only if your team wins. Like there's a potential you get picked up from a team that barely like could win games, right?
Right.
So I think players should make sure to remember that there's a lot of like there's personal advantage also outside of which comes first, your team, but as an individual is important as well.
So as a coach, or it's not too far behind you that you're a coach, Ewok.
Yeah.
Like if you were in that position to be like, who should I pick from this pool of very talented players at Ascension Pacific, and I want to induct them into Pacific next year? Any names pop up to you? Like any screaming, like glaring at you names that you might want to try out for a hypothetical team in tier 1?
For me, Javi's ready to have a shot. I think Shiro should always be considered as well. He had a really good tournament. I think Wayne definitely has what it takes as well to get a shot. These are guys that I enjoyed watching. I think there's a lot of other guys, but it's hard to kind of say more on them just because I don't know the personalities as well. Because that is something that of course every coach don't like. Yeah, okay, we're looking at like rating now, but please coaches don't only look at the rating. Yes, it's important that they need to frag, but the coaches out there's more to it to create a successful team, and every team that has created a successful team will tell you the same thing. So yeah, I think there's a lot of players that I think could be the right fit for your team, right? Not only like any player can go to any team, I think.
Yeah. The rumors are that a few of those players already trialing with some big orgs. Especially Wayne.
I think Global Esports really looked at my list.
To be fair, Global Esports is looking at a lot of lists.
Yeah,
I've heard.
True.
And
That's true.
Team Liquid's doing some cool stuff.
Oh shit!
Interesting.
No
comment.
I decline to comment.
No comment.
Yeah, that's
These are all internet rumors. I don't
internet
know.
rumors.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Internet
saw the tweets from our Thai fans, and they're like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
so deep in the
People are
network.
just like
pretty amazing.
They're freaking
Yeah.
looking at like, oh, this player just signed with this agency, and this agency represents this team in Europe, and like, oh, is there a parallel we can draw there? They're so cool, which I respect. So thank you for being so invested and passionate about this. I really appreciate it. But hey, rumors are rumors, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Look out for the announcements.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of Zen also is another name. Minimize as well.
right.
There's
Yeah,
there's a lot of names on here.
I was gonna
that-
say, like, our friends from Down Under.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's tough, right? They maybe like come from like a similar situation from where you were, Ewok,
Yeah,
where
very
it's a bit of a
yeah.
challenge in terms of servers, in terms of pings, in terms of the size of the scene.
Yeah.
Like, is your advice still just get out of there, or is there any way they can just try to,
I'll take
surface?
this moment also to kind of say South Africa is not part of any VCT circuit. Can we get South Africa part of the
Right.
VCT circuit? Like, hello.
yes.
Like,
Are you not
we're saying
technically-
MENA,
Yeah,
right?
Mina,
but MENA takes like North Africa technically. Sub-Saharan Africa, I think, has
is not
nothing.
included.
Sub-Saharan
you're not
Africa
even,
has-
like-
Yeah, I
oh,
don't think you can
okay.
qualify to VCT.
I
Correct
see.
me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any route to qualify to anything.
Damn.
But if-
and it's one of the only regions on the planet that has no route.
If a player were to somehow get picked up, they would fall under the EMEA banner though, right?
I guess so. I think it would not be an import in EMEA.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my understanding. And yes, yeah, for Australia, I think very similar boat. I think there is a way for them to kind of stay together as a roster like this and have a better run than what they showed here. I think they prepared well, but there's a lot of things I think they still need to learn further. But there is individual talent there for sure. There's a lot of individual talent there. So I was rooting for them a lot as well. I really hope that they could do well this Ascension, but it is hard, and as an individual, you need to also consider your options outside. I think just don't be ignorant to it in terms of if you really want to do it and you really want to take your shot, you need to consider your options. You want to be playing where it's as competitive as possible.
There you go. Awesome.
Very true.
All right. So I guess final thoughts. I really want to get your brain in this. Ewok, what do you think about the new patch? How it's going to affect the teams? And what do you think of next year's format of allowing challengers teams to qualify directly to champions?
Okay, so as for the patch, to be honest, I don't know.
Coach
He's
Yeah.
already so relaxed. Like, this shit is behind me, man. Why are you asking me all this shit?
I have to think about this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
this is the first time in a very long time that I'm not dreaming, eating, sleeping, and thinking about Valorant and thinking how this new agent will affect everything. I have some ideas for now. I think there could be some benefits, so I won't be unfortunately sharing them.
Sure. Trade secrets. Trade
Of
secrets.
how, for now, I
Okay.
think you'll see a little bit more of that. But in terms of formats, I think the general, like for kickoff, the format's amazing. I don't know if that's public information.
It is public information.
okay.
The
Yeah.
triple
The triple elimination, yeah, that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
I'm so glad we got screwed over so many times with kickoff formats. Once again, shout out Genji, thank you. Great format, great change. And then the challenges teams coming in. To be honest, it's a little bit hard to give like a full opinion on it because I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work because you need to go to playoffs and then the playoff teams or like the challenges teams are going to meet you in playoff. But are they not just
It's
can they
regional.
compete?
No. So, God, I think
Yeah.
this has been announced.
Also, we did do on the broadcast we were talking about the format, but I'm still a little bit confused in terms of how stage 2 like them going into playoffs.
See, I know,
This
and
was
now I
announced.
can't remember if it's been officially announced. Pretty sure it has.
Let's play it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
so basically, there's going to be like little mini qualifiers, and it feeds into
Right.
which of those challengers teams goes into.
Yeah, so
the
that
stage
has
2
been
playoffs.
announced. That has
Yeah,
been
okay,
announced.
that has been
Okay.
announced.
So, like,
Okay.
From like SEA,
Yeah.
there'll be a couple of teams, Korean teams. So, but what I'm a little bit worried about is, so what are the teams? So there's some partnership teams that are not going to make it to playoffs, so they never get to play against them. But their strength might be higher than some of the tier 2 teams that are coming
100%.
into playoffs.
100%.
So I'm a little bit scared for some of the, it's like some of the tier 2 teams coming up. Like you might get smashed.
Just get destroyed.
Some of them,
Yeah.
because and this is not because players are bad or like the organization is bad. It's just the investment of money is different. Develop of talent is different. The whole staff and everything. There's more of that in tier 1, right? These teams are more prepared for that level, right?
Yeah,
So
it almost feels
I'm a
like
little bit worried about that.
it almost feels like it'd be more appropriate if they had the group stage slot instead, right?
Yeah, but
Right.
I don't know how
Yep.
exactly you would do that. Do they just slot into stage 2?
Yeah, that's
into like
tough.
put 2 of them into a group. But what
Right.
does all the other tier 2 teams do then?
Yeah.
You know, are they like,
Right.
okay, well, good luck next year. You know? Like
That's
in-
just the
after
reality.
March or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I do like that they're making the changes. To be honest, it does show that they are trying to get also more representation as well. Like because there's like LCQ is really cool. We have Oceania and Southeast Asia as well, South Asia as well, all together. So I think this might be really interesting. And to be fair, if it's only 4 slots, I'm not too worried for them. To be honest, I think some of the tier 1 teams might be surprised, but I'm not necessarily sure that the teams that qualify for playoffs, those caliber teams, will get surprised by these
Yep.
Ascension teams.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or not tier 2 teams rather.
Yep. I agree.
So I don't know if this is better
Yeah.
for them, but at least they get to play. So I think in terms of that regard, it's really cool.
Right.
Yep. I agree.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Any last questions from our dear hosts before we let Ewok go with his day? Or Ewok, if you have like any questions for us or any thoughts that you want to share while you're here on YAP2ASIA.
Stories,
Stories or any
Stories.
highlights from this year? Like-
leaks.
If you had to put all your money into a bet
Oh,
at
I
the
love
start
bets.
of 2025, would you
Oh.
put that RRQ is going to international?
Oh yes,
Oh.
100%.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, in 2025 you say, right? Like this year?
2025. No, like yeah, this past
At the
year.
start of
At
this
the
year?
start
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
year.
Start of this
I would have
year?
That we're
voted.
qualifying,
I would have voted
and
yes.
but
for
then
sure.
after
Yeah.
Australia leaves
And crazy.
and we
guy.
change IGL and Crazy Guy comes in, like our IGL just left mid-season,
Right.
and they say there's an opportunity to take out your money. You have
Yes.
a chance to leave.
Yes.
Are you leaving?
No, I'm
No,
a
not in that
betting
case,
man,
no.
so
Yeah.
I will take that bet and I will stick with it. No, because here's the
Interesting.
thing, right? Like we've been saying this on this podcast and everywhere else. Each year we gained like incremental values of confidence in RRQ. We've always been saying like this is a team that we feel like, you know, what we said is on the verge of breaking out, and we always thought like these are the underdogs always that we were rooting for. And 2025 at the start of the year, sure, there were a bit of a shakeup and the roster, and like, you know, the online community is not making it any better, but I felt like I would have taken that bet if I were presented.
I think you can back Sleepy on that because one of the episodes, the YAP2ASIA episodes that we had last year when we were talking about the roster shuffles and stuff and Cushy coming in, like you guys
Yeah.
were hyped about that.
Yeah.
So he's got facts. Okay.
Yes, sir. So
We're all pretty hyped.
it was
Yeah, I think I
awesome.
would have probably said, yeah, you guys were going to make at least one of the internationals. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
You
I
could've
also
put
thought
your money on
DFM.
DFM. Yeah.
I also thought
Yeah.
DFM was going to
It's
win.
paper thin.
You
I'm
were
not
trying
the most
to start
reliable.
something.
I got close,
with
kind
you.
of.
Yeah, but that's
They
you
at least
every
make
year.
playoffs. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of an insane person, and I could probably rant for about an hour about the Jack.
That would be a
But
fun episode.
You want to do it? We'll do it sometime because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
we should.
so much now, and
We probably should.
it's only gotten worse. That's all I gotta say. It's only gotten
One
worse.
episode where it's just rants, like
should do
literally
that.
all the worst things
Rants
that
to
you have-
Asia.
Rant to Asia.
Rant to Asia.
You got a title and shit already. You want to come on board, Ewok? Maybe you can.
Yeah, I
start
could
with all
rant. I
that.
could rant all day long. But oh man, I want to see. I was so excited for Riddle, man. at
Yo,
Ascension.
same.
I really enjoyed watching them last
Yeah,
year
yeah.
at Ascension, and I
Yep.
think, oh, okay, a little bit more, and they could have done it.
They look.
Um,
I thought they were going to be better this year. I thought
yeah,
they were
that's
better.
what I thought as well. I was really excited, and
And
don't
to
know,
be fair,
it's-
they looked pretty okay at the start of Ascension.
Yeah, they
did.
Right? They did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then
what
they only won
happened,
one
man.
map the whole way through.
yeah, I don't know. It's I
Damn.
really hope
Yeah.
for more.
Yeah, me too.
From them.
And one more thing
yeah,
about
just
Riddle is
overall.
I love their brand, dude. Like it's so
There's a
Yes,
logo.
cool.
Yeah.
Smiley
whimsical.
face.
It's so nice.
I got to meet a couple of their like staff
Right.
when I was in Japan because I stayed in Japan after the Pacific Stage 2 finals, and they were really nice, like really cool guys. Like, so I was really rooting for them, and we have Discord proof of me just crashing out. during
Yes.
certain games.
We were
Oh,
there.
that was the best event, by the way. The
The
Japanese
Japan one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
The
so
Stage 2 finals.
good.
To be honest, that was my favorite event the whole year.
The whole year.
Oh, really? Did you love the whole like visa like crazy guy flying in and then playing?
Technical
Oh my
stuff
God.
doesn't matter. dude.
That one, I think it doesn't matter. I think I
Yeah.
could say that now. Like 2 days before, we thought we're still gonna play with 3 subs.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
3 subs.
Yeah, I don't think they would
That's
mind me saying.
insane.
I guess yeah. There was a big chance. I thought I was not gonna go either.
Right.
It looked dire, to be honest. And then like just a couple of hours, like maybe a day or two before. And so of course it was weird to practice because wait, do we practice with the academy team?
Right,
Because
right.
it looks like they're going to be playing and only 2 Indonesians are going to play. Okay, wait, only one's going to play. Okay, wait, what? So that whole week was just chaos. And then okay,
Yeah.
we just practice ourselves anyway.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare. But it's
What was
some of
that?
the best like fan interactions,
Oh,
and the
yes.
stadium was amazing. And probably one of our favorite series that we've ever played in terms of like
Oh,
the
yeah.
reverse sweep with Talon. I think just overall it was just the event was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean,
If it
Japan
was any
is-
comfort at the time, I don't think you were the only team in that boat. Having
Yeah,
that
yeah,
boat
no,
going.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, it was us. We with Pepperx as well. I don't think they would mind. We were
yeah,
like
yeah.
both of us
Everybody
struggling. We
knows.
we see them at the visa office. We're like the Spider-Man meme. So let me know. Do you guys have this paper? This paper? We have this paper. And then yeah. Shout out to Benny, our manager. Shout out to everyone behind the scenes that is making it happen. That it's at Riot.
Yeah.
And all management everywhere, like to make that turnaround happen because it was not easy. So I'm so glad that we got to get everyone there and put on a show for the fans.
Yeah.
That's sick. It was a freaking great event. It was so
Yeah,
cool.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Japan is always number one
True that.
in my heart.
True that.
Go there.
Legit.
Yeah. All right, cool. I think that's a good wrap to this episode, everybody.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ewok. That's a pleasure, man.
Thank you so much,
Love
guys.
having you here. I love you yapping. And I think we'll be seeing you yap a lot more. Not just here, but I don't know anywhere
Hopefully
else.
places.
That a couple of other places maybe. So yeah, just a couple of last words about where you're going next and what you can expect, and any last words to our community watching this.
Hints, teasers.
Uh,
Where can we find you?
I think with a little bit more time, I think I'll be able to announce a little bit more in terms of what I'll be doing.
Nice.
I'll still be what I can say is I'll be in and around Valorant. I love Valorant. I'll be very busy still with a lot of Valorant things. I like to keep up to date. So you'll still see me in and around Valorant, but a little bit more information as time goes on. First, touching a little bit of grass. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you guys for having me. It's really
Well, thank you for hopping on.
catch
Yeah.
up with all of you guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it was
Thank
nice.
you. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe, and follow us on socials. Go spam Ewok on his DM. Ask him what you want to ask him about what his
Yeah.
next moves are.
Drop some comments. Let us
Yeah.
know. you know?
Drop some
Mhm.
comments
And
on what you
Sleepy's
want to see.
giving gun buddies, I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah, jerseys,
That is
why
so
not?
2023, Ewok.
I just watched your DMs. Your DMs are about to be 2025 real quick.
All right, before it gets further, thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.